Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Our good morning is not now, it is no more a salutation, but a sort of confirmation that we are audible to each other, right? So, see,
Yes, sir.
with run of time and in response of the changed situations, we develop new ways of communication. When our ancestors were tribes living in forest, in order to communicate between two hamlets, two villages, they will use different color of smoke. If it is a red smoke, there is some disease in a particular village or some attack of outsiders, means where the help from other villages is required. If it is a black smoke, it was that don't come to the village, there is danger for you. If there is a blue smoke, they created different colors of smoke to communicate other villages. And sometimes they used torches or even pyres, big pile of logs they will burn when and they will communicate to hundreds kilometer at some hilltop. A person who has to start communication, he has there is already a pile of dry woods. He would put fire on that. When the another person who is living miles away on another hilltop would see that the fire on the pile of the logs is burning on one other hilltop, will burn his pile of the woods and then the other one. In this way, in this way, uh, they will communicate each other, especially about the attacks from invaders or their enemies. They had this kind of communication. Today, IT students and their professor has developed a way of communication in order to ensure that they are audible to each other. They say good morning to each other. If you say that even offline, when we say good morning to each other, it is a salutation, obviously, but at the same time, a kind of recognition to each other that I recognize you, I see you, I understand you. In India, we don't say good morning to unknown people. We just see good morning to known people also. And sometimes we don't say good morning, we just smile at each other, right? We just,
Yes, sir.
but if you go to European countries, especially less populated countries, and especially less populated areas of those countries, for example, if you are in Italy and you are in Milan or Florence, they are populated places. But if you are in the interiors of those countries, go to Siena or other Gimiano and these small places, small cities, Loco, small places. There you will find the people are smiling with each other, though they are not acquainted to each other. You are just going and you see another fellow coming and he smiles and you will smile. But if you do it in Raipur, you keep smiling with unknown people, there are possibilities they doubt at your integrity, at your honesty, at your civic manners. Or you will be tired of smiling because suppose you are living 1 kilometer away from Raipur, NIT Raipur, and you walk in the morning to for your college. So you will meet at least 100 people. So smiling with 100 people will suddenly develop pain on your cheeks. So where we don't do. And obviously in populated European parts, people don't do. Disintegrated, less populated places, people do it because they want to recognize some living person. You might have felt sometimes that when you were alone at your home, and though you may not be scared of animals, you may not be scared of thieves or advocates, you're a brave girl, boy, but even then you feel a sort of loneliness. In that case, your brother has a pet who is a pet for the family, but you are not having any kind of special attachment with the pet. But the day when nobody is at home, the pet finds you in your room and sits, and you also let him in. Though earlier you might have not let him in your room. Why? Because it is another living being. You cannot feel that association with television, with refrigerator, with sofa, or with books. You can feel an association with a parrot, with a cat, with a dog. And if you go to a very deserted place where no animals you see, it happened with me once. I was driving, means I was riding actually bike, and I had rode I think 400, 500 kilometers. So I happened to go cross by a patch. It was a hilltop, means it's beginning of a plateau. And for 50, 60 kilometers, I did not see anybody. And it was noon time. No habitation, no plants also, because it was a hilltop, so there were no trees also. So I tell you, I felt a shot for a while. I felt I'm alive or dead. I would now and then check that, oh, this is bike and moving on the bike. I would see rocks and sand and red soil around me. But for some time, I was means given a sort of feeling with the environment around that whether I was alive or dead. Then I tell you, I saw a jackal, Sia, right, at a distance. I stopped. We saw each other. We had even eye contact, and the jackal came to me. Maybe he wanted to ensure I am another living being. And it was possibly first time in my life I had seen jackal in real life. And I had heard of stories that jackals attack people sometimes when they are hungry. But I tell you, I was not scared of him. And I felt a kind of oneness with jackal. And we had a sort of communication for 2, 3 minutes. And then jackal left for his destination, and I restarted my bike. And I think possibly I had not stopped. I started and I moved for my destination. What I mean to say that communication with people, with things, might have started even before our civilization started, before we started living in a particular manner. That's why you see animals who are not who cannot be called civilized, they also communicate with each other because that is their requirement. Fishes are supposed to have the weakest memory. They too communicate with each other. Scientists say they have memory for 6 minutes only, but I doubt how fishes remain their communication codes. They make a particular type of dance, and they remember their group. I read somewhere that fishes are having very small memory. They have memory for 6 minutes only. That's why they are caught in the net and they are caught in hooks. But I think that how they remember their group, how they recognize their enemies, and how they recognize their prey, their food. So there should be some other memory system in animals which possibly a human has not identified. So this is very basic. Yesterday only in some other class, a student asked me that why I had asked them the question a difference between hard skill and soft skill, that possibly in every first or second class I asked. So I might have asked in your class also. Did I explain you what is different in hard skill and soft skill?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I had explained. Okay. So a boy from mechanical engineering says, sir, why it is called soft skill? It can be called easy skill. So I said, see, there you don't have the right choice now, because the soft skill started especially with the emergence of software technology, because it was a software engineer who met most variety of people, widest variety of people. A mechanical engineer may not happen to meet a doctor. He may meet another engineer, but there are very poor possibilities of meeting a doctor. It is the architect who meets different professionals, but he too has a limitation. His designs are same. Yeah, he will be designing a hospital for a doctor. He may be designing a shop for a shopkeeper. He may be designing a bus stand and railway station. But even then, he has to do with his own stuff only, and there are limited variety, because he has to design the bus stand for all those who are coming in bus stand. But software has to be designed with multiple professionals approach. The software may be designed for from a lowest rung sanitation employee to the highest topmost strata, president or vice president of some business organization or head of country. So it was a software engineer who had to meet different types of people, and he has to address their demands. He has to understand their capacity. He has to understand what they don't understand, because he has to. They just put the demand that this is my requirement, and it is a software engineer to design that particular demand into an answer with using his model of logic, yes no flow. So they named it, they called it soft skills. So now mechanical engineers are not having choice, because it was software engineer first, so they said it is soft skill. Their skill of knowing computer is hard skill, other than their skill which supplements, which is required to make a very good software, an interface which enables the user to understand things easily and apply it quickly for the almost optimum possible correct results. So that's why the software engineers, they took the liberty of naming it soft skills, though it can be called easy skills or other skills other than skills. But what is in a name, we understand these things. I think that day I had exposed you that language the language which is mostly used in written format written format, the written communication that has the wider spread. Though with emergence of modern technology, my speech is recorded and put in YouTube, can be seen by thousands of people and even all i- the ages to come. But before this recording facility, the voice was very temporary way of communication. So people would write things, they copy things, and they leave the documents somewhere. So thousands and thousands of people come and read and they understand it. Our signboards, our scriptures on the walls, our manuscripts, our ancient books, they're examples of written communication. So in case of written communication, we have to be very cautious that it should create the only and only meaning which we want to communicate. It should not make any otherwise communication. I don't remember if I gave the example of signboard, a board, holding a billboard in front of the main building of the college. Did we discuss about it? The billboard in front of the main building.
Yes, sir.
What what
Yes, sir.
what was the discussion?
Yes, sir.
Aditya, can you tell me what was the discussion?
Sir,
Main institute.
It was written Main Institute building on the
Main institute
billboard.
building. So what otherwise communication it was giving? How it could confuse people from outside who are not very much well known about NIT. All of a sudden, an outsider comes. What communication he may receive?
So it was sounding like there are various buildings and this one is the main institute.
There are various buildings, or there are various institutes.
Various institutes and this one
Yeah,
is the main
there
one.
are various institutes. Okay. So today, after the class, I will go around the campus and I will take some pics and send in the group. Then you will certainly be surprised that how we are making such errors. So I don't identify it with the authorities to correct it, so that my text for my classes remains intact in this campus now. Right? Initially, I got it corrected, but later on realized, yeah, it is a good stuff for my students. Why I should disturb it, right? So I should not name any particular faculty or personal authority responsible for this nomenclature or getting the billboards written. But I should tell you, this is that is the composite responsibility of everybody working in the system, or everybody is in the system, including you people also. But my students are always very loyal for me. They don't disclose it. They remain let it remain for their juniors to understand. So today morning only, I did not have my camera, otherwise I have taken could have taken the photograph. It was written power station NIT Raipur. What is the error here? There is a power station inside the NIT Raipur. It was written power station NIT Raipur. It is inside the campus, big wall. We are having, I think, 12 feet high wall. There are huge gates and tight security. You cannot come inside without prior permission of an identity proof or blah blah. And inside that campus we have a power station, and it was written power station, some kV written there, kilowatt. I think I don't understand that nomenclature, but it is what an NIT Raipur. What it communicates to an outsider? Is NIT Raipur required there? Kalyanam?
No, sir.
Not
No, sir.
required. Not required. And if it is written there, Pradeep, then what shall be the otherwise communication?
Name of means sir that anybody will that सर वो उनको लगेगा कि वो पावर स्टेशन का नाम है NIT रायपुर.
ऐसा लग सकता है, दे ही मे फील पावर स्टेशन ऑफ NIT रायपुर है. ये भी हो सकता है, ये भी हो सकता है. And they may think that there are so many power stations inside power station
Yes,
NIT
sir.
Raipur. So they may think there are other stations also. It is written NIT guest house NIT Raipur. So what can be the meaning of that? There are so many other guest house of other institutes also. The blunder is an residence registrar NIT Raipur. Is it required? Should they write residence registrar NIT Raipur, or they should write only residence registrar?
Only registrar.
When they write registrar NIT Raipur, what can be the otherwise meaning, Amisha?
That sir, there are many registrar in here. NIT Raipur.
Of NIT, or other institute?
Of other institutes
Other
also.
institute. Yeah, obviously, there are so many other registrars. The deputy registrar, assistant registrar. We are having, I think, 20 registrars. Means helping different section of administrative body. But when we write registrar NIT Raipur, we communicate that there is a possibility that some registrar of other institute also living inside. Last year, I requested the people, please, it's isko tha हटा दो यार. रजिस्टर NIT रैयपुर मत लिखो ना, मेरी बेटी ने लिखा हुआ था ये स्वरा की कॉपी है, तो शी इज इन फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड, तो मैंने कुछ नहीं बोला उसको, ठीक है, बट नाउ शी इज इन फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड, लास्ट ईयर शी वाज इन KG2, नाउ शी रोट स्वरा तिवारी, so I explained it, yes स्वरा की तिवारी ही, as she is writing this thing, you are also writing NIT Raipur, register NIT Raipur, because these are similar communications, right? Swara Tiwari is enough. Okay, I have a nameplate in front of my home. There it is written Dr. Anup Kumar Tiwari, HSS, NIT Raipur. What should be there? 201, Dr. Anup Kumar Tiwari, HSS, NIT Raipur. What is extra there?
So HSS and NIT Raipur.
NIT Raipur is extra, right? HSS, but HSS is useful or not?
Sir, useful.
Yeah,
Useful.
right? Why? Because there are so many other departments. That is useful. Correct? Rohit is correct. Arpit, you are correct. Because there are so many departments, and there could be really there are two there are two AK Tiwari. Anil Kumar Tiwari mechanical and Anup Kumar Tiwari HSS. And there is another Anup Tiwari mathematics, right? So though Anup is a very rare name, I very rare name, not very common. In my age, it was really new, very rare, because I did not find any other Anup in my all 5 schools. My father was a bank employee, so we had frequent transfers. I finished my schooling with the 5 or 6, I think 6 schools. So there I did not find any Anup, but now I see so many Anup. So Anup AK Tiwari HSS is necessary because there is AK Tiwari mechanical. But if I write AK Tiwari HSS NIT Raipur, it has no sense. In the same way, when I am living out of the campus, and there I write Anup Kumar Tiwari HSS NIT Raipur, then what is irrelevant?
HSS and NIT Raipur.
HSS.
HSS is irrelevant, then NIT Raipur is irrelevant. People should understand this is Anup Tiwari working in NIT Raipur. So somebody locating me in DDU Nagar can easily find me. Acha, ye hai Anup Tiwari, because there is a very poor possibility that people from an NIT Raipur are living in my neighborhood. Okay, but just hold on. So here these are not linguistic errors. These are called social linguistic errors. Means one thing is correct at one place and is not correct at other place. So every communication is in collaboration of the situation. If I say now, right now I say it is 10. What is time now?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. If I say it is 11 a.m., this is correct. But suppose after 30 minutes I say it is 11 a.m., maybe partially correct. But if after 3 hours I say it is 11 a.m., will be wholly not correct. So 11 a.m. can be correct only once in a day for 24 hours. So once it is correct, and in other situations it is not correct. So correction is in reference of the information it is communicating to people. If I say today is Thursday, correct. But tomorrow also I say today is Thursday, incorrect. Why? Because it is not communicating the right information. That's why correct and incorrect, wrong and right, there are 4 words. So when I say today is a Thursday, today is a Thursday, you will say, sir, it is not correct, it is incorrect. Please remove a. Today is Thursday. Means when it is grammatical meaning, when it is grammatically diagnosed, in that case it is correct versus incorrect. Then If tomorrow I say this is Thursday, sentence is correct, but the information is wrong. So that's why you are given an option of choosing right, wrong, false, or true. False or true means lion is a herbivorous. It is not neither right nor wrong. What is this? It is incorrect versus correct, right, wrong, false, true. Where it can be clubbed. Lion is a herbivorous animal. Correct, incorrect, right, wrong, false, or true.
False.
False, yes.
False.
False or true. Because that information is wrong. It is a carnivorous animal, right? So whenever you are diagnosing an information, you should always have these three frames in your mind: correct versus incorrect, right or wrong, and false and true. So if that director and if Mr. MK Dr. MK AK Rawani, director NIT Raipur, this billboard is in front of a home outside of NIT campus in Shankar Nagar. There is a possibility that other directors are also living, director of a company, director of an agency, director of a film company, blah blah. But if it is inside written Dr. AK Rawani, residence director NIT Raipur, it has no sense. Because in one board already it is written director residence. So in another board it should be only Dr. AK Rawani. Director residence is a regular billboard on the right side of the wall. Left side of the wall is left side of the pillar of the gate is used for means dynamic boards. The boards keep on changing. The one board remains status. So we have always to be watchful about it. Now, first thing we should take that correct versus incorrect. That day, I had given you a problem of using neither nor either are. Did we do it? Did we do it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, could you understand what is the correct way?
No, sir, you just said that everybody is wrong and then you explained
Very
that
good.
main
Very
institute building.
Okay. So, let us understand that. Okay. Okay. What I can show here. I'll open PPT. Is the PPT visible? Is it visible?
No, sir.
Not
No,
visible.
sir.
No, sir.
Okay. I do it again. Share the entire. Yeah, but when I share entire screen, your faces are not visible. So it's difficult. It becomes very difficult for me to communicate. तो कुछ कुछ yes no बोलते रहना, ठीक है? नहीं तो मुझे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम होता है. I feel uncomfortable.
सर कोई
Now,
फेस ऑन किया ही नहीं है.
now something is visible. Some slide is visible.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You better understand. What is this? If I appreciate somebody, I say you better understand. Is it appreciation or warning?
So it's a warning.
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 It is warning. And now what is this?
Appreciation.
Appreciation.
Appreciation. Okay. So how this happens? Only the sequence of words changed. So how will somebody understand? Until unless one is not having that sense of grammar, sense of rearrangement of words, he may not be able to understand it. Right? So that's why that day I had given you a shake that you should understand grammar. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you. Like now I go in a mode, uh, editing mode. I type some sentences. That day I had typed, but I could not save it. I type it here. I write for you. No? He did not study. Stop. Another sentence. He did not sleep. Suppose there are two negative sentences with so many common things. Neither nor can be used only in the case when there is only one difference between both the sentences. So where is the difference? Difference is between study and sleep. Okay. So there is a very simple way how to correct it, how to make it. He neither studied nor slept. Easy? Could you see that where I used neither nor in front
Yes,
of
sir. Yes, sir.
study and sleep? What is study in parts of speech? What is this?
Verb.
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 Very good.
Verb.
And what is sleep?
Verb.
Verb. Okay. Now I read another practice. He is. He is not a doctor. He is not an engineer. Now I make he is neither a doctor nor an engineer. Now tell me where I'm using, where is the difference? Doctor and
Engineer.
engineer, right? The difference is here. So I have used neither before doctor and nor before engineer, right? In
Yes, sir.
in normal in parts of speech, what is doctor and engineer?
Noun.
Now.
Now,
Ah,
okay. So this is I write. See, I cannot teach you the entire grammar, वो नहीं हो पाएगा. But I think what trying to do, I'm trying to shake you once more. एक बार फिर से पढ़ना है grammar. Earlier you were reading grammar, just to pass the exam. वो भी 8th सेशन बाद वही बंद हो गया. ठीक है ना? अब कैसे पढ़ना है? अब पढ़ना परफेक्शन के लिए. I will recommend you a book. पूरी बुक स्कूल घर जाके सारी बुक लानी जरूरत है. अच्छा आप लोग तो घर पे ही हैं. See. This sentence what I said just now, घर जाके सारी बुक लाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Because earlier I was teaching in campus and students had come here leaving their home. But now you are already at home. So you can find out the books at your school books. Okay. So here it is used before noun and noun. Here it is used before verb and verb. One more I write. Okay? He is not good. Full stop. He is not bad. Now, somebody tell me what should be the combination?
He is neither good nor bad.
Good nor bad.
Very good. He's neither good nor bad. Okay. Now tell me what is good and bad in parts of speech?
adjective.
Adjective.
It is adjective. So now can you deduce some formula that neither nor is used before identical parts of a speech? If it is before verb, then it will be before another verb. If it is before a noun, then it will be before another noun. If it is before good adjective, then it will be before another adjective bad. So what formula we can write? What can be right? This is means the this is neither nor is used before identical parts of speech. Is it correct? थोड़ा और ऐड कर सकते हैं. Causing the comparison, है ना? Causing the correlation. Okay. After this, you find this rule written. It explains you things very smoothly. Agree? It becomes easy or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you feel that a logic can make things easy. थोड़ा सा लॉजिकल होने से फायदा हो जाएगा. ठीक है? So it is not possible with me that I teach you entire grammar, और वो waste of time तो नहीं कहलाएगा, but we don't have time. ये ज्यादा अच्छी बात होगी. That will not waste of time. If we can have grammar classes, बहुत अच्छा रहेगा. But and who knew this rule? No. Let me ask you a question. When did you practice this rule first time in your life? In which class? Somebody tell me. Which class did you see this correlative conjunction first time?
Sir, around fourth or fifth.
Fourth or fifth, right? And then fifth and sixth we had practices, and we knew it. And after eighth, ninth we stopped learning grammar, right? So it is almost 7 years, 7 to 8 years you are exposed to this thing, but we had problem. In a school days, when you score 97 out of 100, you are taken to be very good student. But in profession, if you make 3 mistakes, you are taken to be a bad professional. जैसा NIT रायपुर में हो गया, मेन इंस्टीट्यूट बिल्डिंग लिख दिया, मैं पिछले कई सालों से उसके मजे ले रहा हूँ, है ना? तो यहाँ नहीं चलेगा, वो 3% भी नहीं चलेगा. After 3 years, you will be a professional when you are heading some department, and if you are not permitted to make such mistakes. ठीक है? I summarize this class with one more such example. मजा भी आएगा उसमें. ठीक है? I write. He cooked himself. What is meaning of the sentence? I write another sentence, then you can understand. He cooked food. Now tell me the meaning. What is it? Can you translate first sentence, second sentence in Hindi?
सर उसने खाना बनाया.
खाना पकाया, right?
Yes sir.
खाना पकाया. And what is the first sentence?
सर उसने खुद को पका डाला.
उसने अपने आप को पका लिया.
खुद को पकाया, है ना? And you see people write this in such a way or not?
Yes sir.
And if you write this only, now correct? He cooked for.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Only small corrections can make good things. So why not to learn these things, right? Is it good to learn? And
Yes, sir.
enjoyable also? Okay? Okay, now one thing more. He saw himself. Second. He himself saw. Please translate third sentence.
Third sentence is उसने खुद देखा.
खुद देखा. And fourth sentence?
So the fourth one is उसने खुद देखा.
Very
Yes, sir.
good.
And the third one is उसने खुद को देखा.
Very good. मैं मिरर कहाँ पे लिख दूं? यहाँ पे लिख दूं मिरर, ब्रैकेट में मिरर लिख दूं, है ना? हियर, यहाँ पे मिरर है ना? ओके, एंड हियर यहाँ विटनेस लिख दूं, वो विटनेस है उसका, है ना?
Yes.
ओके, ऐसे जस्ट रिमेंबर कि ये वो आदमी विटनेस है, कोई घटना हुई एंड ही saw himself. So just replacement of these words have changes a great meaning, right? And you see, people do such mistakes. ऐसा लोग करते रहते हैं. The other, I started teaching with one institute in क्या था उसका नाम? Indian, बड़ा फर्जी सा नाम था उसका. Indian Business School, IBS, देहरादून. अभी वो है कि नहीं पता नहीं, शायद यूनिवर्सिटी बन गया होगा. So when I joined, there was a senior person. We both were sitting in library. कुछ बैठने की व्यवस्था नहीं थी, so I occupied one seat in library and I would sit there. So one day I encountered with a professor who was from mechanical engineering. He was very famous for teaching engineering graphics. And then he asked me what I was doing. I said that I am here to teach communication skills. And he asked me if I had done some course in communication skills, my post graduation. I said no, I'm just means PhD in psychoanalysis, and I'm MA in English. And I have some exposure in corporate world for 6 months or so. He said, then how can you teach communication skills? I said, yes, I also wonder how I can teach. But they advertised it that somebody PhD or PG in in English is eligible for it. So I came here and I think I will teach. They said, okay, means you are MA in English. So the moment you say MA in English, people sometimes people are at war with you. जैसे ही मालूम पड़ा ये सामने वाला डॉक्टर है, तुरंत उसे दवाई पूछने लगते हैं. Similar is with the English people also. If somebody is from mathematics, they would not ask him anything. If somebody is from physics, कुछ नहीं पूछेंगे, क्योंकि बनता ही नहीं पूछना ना, क्या पूछेंगे? Laplace transform. If you say that I am an engineer, they will not ask you anything. They don't know what to ask. But English, कुछ भी पूछ लो भाई. He said, कुछ बताएंगे मुझे? I'm having what he said. I recreate the scene. Sir, I find sometimes I'm poor in grammar, so you maybe like to helping me. I said, yes, you are poor. You are poor. Actually, he was expecting I should appreciate him. No, you are not poor. He said, am I really poor? I said, yes, you are poor. How? I said, because you are poor at grammar, not in grammar. You can never write, I am poor in grammar. So I just mimicked him, and actually, he got hurt also. And I really wanted to hurt him. Then he came, he was summarized for a while. Then he says, I have doubt of using to. What he said? Using to. I said, what doubt? He said, I don't know where to use to. I find it somewhere used here, some other way used there. And then I asked him, okay, it's okay. So he was that time, I think, 40 years old. I said, when did you learn this word to first time? He said, maybe possibly 4th or 5th standard. I said, okay. Means the problem, that this problem is with you, this disease is with you for last 30 years. So I will charge at least 3,000 rupees to cure this disease. And I will cure you within a minute. No, not possible. I have asked this question to many times, many people. I said, okay, you might have asked many people, but you might have asked it from an English professor. I gave him a sentence. He went to July 2. Second sentence. He too went to July. I think you people understand the difference.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me where there are possibilities of two destinations.
First sentence.
First sentence.
Where is possibility of two goers, two subjects, two people went?
Last sentence. Second sentence.
Second
This is
one.
very easy. कुछ मुश्किल नहीं है. Then he started scratching his bald head. नहीं, इतना सरल तो नहीं है ये. I said, it is that much easy. You were busy in your engineering and you never opened basic grammar books. You left it in your 9th standard and you had been troubling yourself. थोड़ा सा Rakesh, Rajesh, who is Sia?
Yes, sir.
Rajesh Mishra.
And Amisha also, sir. CR.
Okay, okay. So please take the attendance and then we suspend. The
Yes, sir.
okay. So this is assignment 3. I'll be sharing your worksheet. You have to solve it. Don't write the questions there. Write only answers with numbers, and questions will be in answer sheet. That will be assignment number 3. And your syllabus I will be going to share in your group, WhatsApp group. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, what's the syllabus for MCQ exams?
I will be sharing it tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I'll share it in your WhatsApp group. Because what can be written from and it develops good communication also, good rapport too. So I recommend, request, and suggest all of you should open your camera. Though I cannot see all the faces, but I can see some faces. Okay? Okay? Especially when you are replying, you should open your camera. अगर नहीं भी open है तो. Rakesh, have you taken attendance?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.